Hey y'all, it's Poseidon, and in this episode of the Poseidcast, I think it's episode 14 at this point, I'm gonna do something a little different. So normally I just kind of record myself and then I just kind of talk about the topics, and I have the topics in the corner, and it seems like I've been going back and watching, and aesthetically, when you're watching it visually, it's not very like nice. Like maybe if you're just listening to it with like headphones and you're doing something else, like you're working out or whatever, it's like it's good because you. But like when you're watching it, it almost looks kind of weird. I'm just kind of standing here looking into the camera for 30 plus minutes. There's no zoom ins or transitions or anything like that. So I decided that instead of doing that, at least for this one, I'm going to try just putting it over some gameplay and just talking about the topics that I have and just doing that. So you let me know what you guys think of that, and yeah, we'll just go from there with the 14th episode of the Poseidcast. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the new patch that we're going to get. We had a combat cast yesterday, the 18th of July, and they showed a lot of stuff off. Character bust, cameo bust, Takeda looks insane. So I'm just going to talk over everything that I noticed. I wrote some stuff down, everything I noticed, and what this could potentially mean for the character, if it's going to make them more viable, less viable, how the cameos are, how this is going to affect matchup charts, things like that. So the big first thing that I talked about was that Lee May. So her back 2-3 now is gapless. So there's no gap. She has so many gaps in her moves. So having another, I think this is the second gapless string they have given her, and a patch. I think she needs it. She's a good character if you were to remove her gaps. So this is going to help her a little bit. And then now they get an additional move. So now back 2-4 is a meterless launcher, and it looks like you can get big damage with Lee May now without like a cameo, because usually it was like you could get like decent damage, then if you added a cameo it gave her busted damage. But like with this move, it really seems like she's going to be able to get some really good damage before cameo, which could allow for some absolutely insane combo potential with certain cameos like Janet or Mavado or Scorpion. So it'll be really cool to see what people do with Lee May, some of the Lee May loyalists like Sinister Ruler or Genner, some of these guys that have just been pushing the character really far and are now getting a better version of the character. So Natara, big thing, dive kick now is a launcher meterless, and if you amp it, it's safe on block. So she's gonna be able to fly around the stage, and she can just do at any point an amped dive kick. It can be up blocked, so you have to look out for that. Can't be too obvious about it, but you're gonna be able to do dive kicks that are completely safe on block. That is really cool for her. Happy for Natara. I think that's going to make her a pretty good character. Also, her blood ritual projectile, it looks like she has it has a hitbox on startup. So you get close to her when she does it, and it'll hit you before the projectile even comes out. That looks really cool. It looks like a another buff for Natara. Looks to be pretty good. I think this character was already pretty good, and I think this is going to make her a bit better and might propel her up really high on the tier list. But we shall see if they get anything more. This is just what they talked about in the combat cast. So Scorpion now has a low chain, so the low chain move that he throws out that goes really far can now be canceled into special moves, it looks like. So it looks like you're going to be able to combo into teleport, potentially into spear, maybe on distance and range. They just showed it comboing into teleport, so not 100% sure of the combo potential, but it is going to be special cancelable, so that seems really cool. We'll have to wait and see when we get the update, when Takeda drops, which I'm pretty sure is going to be on Tuesday. Very, very cool stuff. Sub-Zero can now combo into Ice Clone, at least in a corner, without popping up. So you don't need to pop them up to combo into the Ice Clone, which is going to be a meterless combo extender, at least in the corner. And the Ground Freeze move can now combo extend meterless, it looks like. It looks like you might not have a ton of time to do that, but you can combo extend the Ground Ice meterlessly in the corner, outside the corner, wherever, at least into moves like Stand 2. That's what we saw. So that was... really cool. Sorry, I was just watching the screen. All right, it was really cool. So now we're gonna get in some of the cameos. So cameos, a decent amount of cameo buffs at least that we were able to see. So Scorpion is going to have the cameo is going to have a flame aura move that allows your character kind of sets your character on fire, and it does dot damage to the other character. So I'm not exactly sure how strong it's going to be, but can potentially add some damage to combos, or if you get close, maybe even like as a round ender, like you go and you get close, and then you like put that on and you do like a teleport move with one of your characters, and it hits your opponent. So that's pretty cool. I'm not exactly sure how strong that's going to be. But yeah, so Darius spin kick uppercut into partner spin restores cameo meter. Now they didn't really go into specifics on how that's going to work. So it looks like when you do the spin part, you're going to be regenerating meter. And then he has a low knockdown on his ambush summon, like behind him. You know how you can kind of just do the overhead whenever you felt like. Now he also has a low, so you get a 50-50 on any knockdown with Darius if you desire, and then that can allow for crazy combo extensions and things like that, part of the blockables, and yeah, so that looks pretty crazy. So Cyrax self-destruct is you can move the self-destruct bomb now, and it can interrupt, and a bomb drops when it's interrupted. A bomb will drop, so that kind of allows, so you can't just hit the thing and it's gone. You know, if you hit it, it's still going to be there, and they're still going to be able to get their setup. Interesting, not sure how strong either of those are going to be, but it seems like that's going to be a decent buff for Cyrax. Should be pretty cool. Frost now has a wall ambush move that kind of symbolizes a corner wall, so you may be able to get combo extensions or pressures, things like that, that allow you to potentially get more combo extensions or allow you to essentially trap your opponent. Really cool. So Goro was interesting. So his punch walk move that's plus on block can now be canceled into scoop, and can be canceled into stomp, where he goes up and hits you with the unblockable stomp. The scoop is a command grab essentially that launches. So you can do that, and his up punch can be canceled into punch walk or scoop. So you can see you can do, so the way I envision it is like Tanya goes and does a wake up armor move, and you know, they armor, you block it, and then they do the Goro to keep themselves plus, and then they do the scoop after that, and you get scooped and launched. It's probably gonna cost all of the cameo bar, but there's gonna be add even another layer to, like, okay, now they're plus, and I gotta read the wake up, or I gotta read their button, but now you have to like maybe jump to see if they're gonna do the scoop or duck, and just allows for another mind game on top of that, which I imagine is going to be absolutely crazy. Pretty much allows you to make summons ambush just kind of like Tremor with his punch walk and his scoop. Pretty cool stuff. Oh, and his unblockable jump, ground pound. Cool stuff. Okay, so Sector's homing missile can now shoots 2 rockets. So it used to shoot only 1, and it would cost all of the cameo, and it would shoot up a homing missile. But now what it does is it shoots a homing missile as 2 homing missiles. And that seems already pretty crazy, but you are going to be able to potentially get combo extensions and back throw combos. So they showed in the match between the Takeda and the Sub-Zero that they were getting like back throw extensions with the homing missile attack. So that was really cool to see. Very interesting stuff. Sector, that looks like a pretty decent buff. We'll see if we get more. So this is just what they said, and we'll see if we get more buffs and cameo things and stuff like that, or more cameo buffs and, you know, better, like, changes the frame data, things like that. We'll see. But also Sub-Zero is going to be getting a classic movie skin as well, so that's going to be really cool as well. You know, people really like their skins. That is a really cool skin. That's one that I would probably like to use when I use Sub-Zero. I don't use them too often, but when I do, I'll probably be using that skin, especially if it's free. And it just comes with the, what we bought already with the combat pack. Really cool stuff. So that is what in terms of the changes to the characters and the cameos. So Takeda, they showed off. I'm just kind of be going over what I noticed in the gameplay of him. So he has massive disjoint. Like, his buttons are have crazy range, and if you don't know what disjoint means, it basically means that there's a hitbox on the move with no hurtbox. So you can hit your opponent with the move, but the opponent can't hit the move, and send you launching, and you take damage. Basically, that's what disjoint is. His jump kicks appear to hit both ways, so kind of like Sindel's, where she kind of like jumps and it goes both ways. Takeda kind of does that as well, so that might be potential. So if you try to like go underneath them or something like that, and they get crossed up and their jump comes out the wrong way, it'll still hit both ways. That looks really cool, really good for him. His back 3 and forward 4 looks like a low overhead mix-up, where the back 3 is a low that combo extends. The overhead doesn't allow to, be special canceled, so you can't really get combo extensions off it, but it allows you to, they always got to be thinking about that, when you're going to approach them. He has a very long poke with the whip and can also do whip moves in the air. I'm not exactly sure the extent. Looks like the whip is just a poke, so you're not going to be able to like combo off of it. It's not a normal. And the air moves, there might just kind of be like stuff you can throw out to like air to air. I'm not sure if they really said that you can combo extend off of those, but we shall see when he drops. He has a spear that brings you towards your opponent that pops up on EX and has an air version as well that allows you to combo extend in the air on amp. So essentially, you pull yourself towards them, and if you're in the air, you pull them towards you into the air, and then you can kind of do your aerial string or do like a jump one move into your ground attacks to combo extend, which looks kind of crazy. He has a Rekka that can pop up on amp, so it basically allows you can continue the string or not based off your own desire. You can delay it a little bit, and at the end of the string, it allows you to pop up if you amplify it. So that's really, really interesting. That's really cool. He has a whip move that essentially gives you a double jump in the air, and another whip move that allows you to kind of swing, and that pops up. So you kind of use it and you swing across the map in the air, and if you amp it, it pops up. And for what I saw, you're allowed to do one of the swing, the kind of like the whip that gives you the double jump into the swing whip in the same jump. And it didn't look like it costed any meter. So that'll be really crazy. He's going to be able to live in the air, give you some Psych Gas vibes from MK11. So very, very interesting stuff that's going to be coming from Takeda, and that's just, the tip of the iceberg. Appears you can use both has bombs that can lay on the ground with delayed detonation, can be amped to put your opponent in full screen, and can be used to give him back throw combos with no cameo. So he's going to be able to, no character in this game can just kind of combo off the back throw, but if you do the setup and then you do a back throw over the setup, you can set off the bomb while you're in the back throw animation, and it'll pop up and you'll get a combo extender. And what I saw with the Sector combo extending with the homing missile, it works with Takeda, and he got like big damage. He got like a 25% combo into a brutality at the end, and maybe he could have combo extended more. But usually with back throw combos, it usually taps out around 20%. Some a little bit more. I know with Janet you can get some decent damage, like 24 or something like that, but this looked like a lot more than that. So potentially big back throw damage with Takeda. This character is looking gross for sure. His Fatal Blow throws stars at full screen that you can control with buttons and can be canceled. DLC Fatal Blow. Oh, literally, it's a DLC Fatal Blow. You can throw the stars. So you do Fatal Blow. You can throw projectiles, and then you can just decide to cancel it at a certain point. So from what it seems, it looks like after you throw 1 or 2 stars. I'm not sure if it's a timed armor, but after that, it looks like you don't have armor. So it's not like you just hold it and you have armor the whole time and you can just throw all the stars and you're armored the whole time. It doesn't look like that is the case. But, we'll see how that works and stuff. When the lab monsters lab that, I'll be labbing Takeda, of course, just to figure out how he works. He does look like a fun character. I may need to try him out a little bit more than some of the other past DLC, but I basically have played all DLC to some degree. Homelander's probably the one I put the least time into, and I just kind of didn't really enjoy him. It was kind of glitchy and buggy and stuff. And then Ermac kind of came out at a fortunate time where I was really training for tournaments and really training for a Smash tournament as well. So, but I do still play Ermac and be one of my secondaries. And this character looks really fun. I'm definitely going to be putting a decent amount of time into Takeda. So back forward 3, a special move, is a full screen kick special that is his armored move, and when amped and can be, when you hold down, it cancels it, and if you hold up, it becomes a teleport that he goes to the other side. I couldn't tell if you got a meterless or metered combo extender either way, but it literally looks like a move that you can cancel, or then if you hold up, it'll teleport. So very, very interesting. Also has a spin kick with a close, far, and air version that are all overheads. So that's basically what I got from Takeda. He looks like a setup monster. He has a bunch of different ways to pop up. He's going to be able to go all over the screen with teleports and air, basically double, triple jumps. He looks strong, crazy disjoint. His damage didn't look too strong, which I think is fair. I think if you're going to give a character all this stuff, then you can't just be giving him 40% BMBs as well. And then that's just going to make him broken. So I think Takeda looks incredibly strong, and he looks like he's going to be a very, very fun character to play. Really excited about the um, cameo buffs that we're going to be receiving and the character buffs that we're also going to be receiving. And we're probably going to get some more than that, whether it's the cameo or the character buffs. When the patch actually drops, we will probably get more than that, but that is just what they showed. So very exciting stuff for Mortal Kombat and the DLC. As I said, they always kind of do good by the DLC. Like, it's very rare that, I mean, like, Homelander buggy, but still a lot of fun to play. Peacemaker, incredibly busted, but still a very fun character to play. Ermac, incredibly fun. Omni-Man was pretty fun. I mean, maybe one of these fun DLCs. Quan, fun character, just not that good. But I think they've sorry about that. I've done really good by the DLCs, and I'm excited to see what they do with Takeda. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go into the second topic. I'm not going to make this one too long. Today is an Evo day, so I'm going to go in and watch that for a little bit. I also need to work on the top 100, which is coming. I need to finalize that, and it should be out by Wednesday, the 23rd or the 24th, so the day after Takeda comes out. We're going to be dropping the entire top 100. That's going to be really cool, and I'm very excited for that. Been a lot of work. But basically, what I wanted to talk to you guys about, and it's a little personal, but I'm just gonna kind of say it, speak from the heart. I didn't like script out anything for this. But basically, I have definitely been lacking a lot of motivation, and like I'm a hard worker. I like to view myself as a hard worker, and I feel like I am. I definitely proven that. So like I've been kind of just doing things because I said I would. I said I'd do a weekly podcast, so I'm going to do that. I said I'm going to run Shirarayu Sundays, so I'm going to do that. I said I'm going to run the bi-weekly Injustice 2 tournaments, and I'm going to do that. I said I'm going to do the top 100, and I'm going to do that. And all this stuff has just been a lot of work. And I know it's bad, and maybe it's because I look at social media or you look at YouTube, but watching people kind of just kind of shit all over the game, talk about how bad it is, talk about how bad the community is and stuff. And the thing is, like, we're part of the community, like acting like the community sucks, but you're some outstanding figure on the outside of it. And like, this community sucks, but me, I'm within the community, I'm amazing. I think that's kind of a little like, maybe you are part of the problem, you just don't realize that. Maybe I'm part of the problem. I've been told by many people that I am part of the problem. You know what I mean? In terms of like some of MK1's problems, why people don't want to go out, like, oh, because I speak highly of the game or I enjoy it, I make content, I do all these events, and I do all this stuff, that I am a problem. Instead of kind of just clowning on the game, shitting on it, and making just, easy content, just kind of ranting about how bad the game is and what NRS needs to do to fix it, and what the community needs to do, and what everyone else besides me needs to do. Everyone else needs to do these things. Well, I am just going to rant and just say things, and I am the gospel. No, I'm just kidding. It seems like a lot of people do that, and they get a lot of like credit, and a lot of people like their content and watch their stuff, and like I put out over 200 YouTube videos, whether that's guides or gameplay or podcasts or reviewing competitive gameplay, or making videos about competitive gameplay, or the top 100, or creating stuff, and it's not it just doesn't get a lot of traction, and that's fine. I do a lot of this stuff for the fun of it, but like that's also a big thing, is like, everyone, when you do stuff for the community, you're expected to do it just because you enjoy it, and I do enjoy it, but it's like when the love starts to fade away, and you're doing it, like, what's left? If you're not doing it for and it would be one thing if like the community was like, yeah, like maybe like the community kind of back these ideas and stuff, because my plan is to try to grow the community. Like, I want to run bigger and better events. I want to get more people involved in these things, so if they do become revenue streams like the top 100, whether something like that, and we have a bunch of people working on it, and everyone is able to prosper that works on it in the community, and we're able to get more eyes on these players who are ranked in the top 100, and sponsors want to give him sponsorships, and want to help people get to events, or give them money, help them be a little bit more of a side hustle and stuff. And that's really what I truly want to do. And the fact that the community, in most part, kind of just doesn't care to support it, doesn't really maybe they'll be like, oh, hey, that's cool, you know what I mean? I get like a nice thumbs up, you're doing a great job, but then they kind of butt out and nobody really like pays attention to it or watches it or really cares about it or kind of uses it at any sort of benchmark for like seating or anything like that. And again, I'm not tripping. I'm not like crying. I'm not sitting here and being like, wow, like nobody likes me. It's kind of like I'm almost at a point where like, what's the point? Because like there's people out there who will just like, we have Evo today, and they'll just upload sets from Evo, and it will be very very minimal effort, and they'll just take a set that happens at Evo, upload it to their YouTube channel, and it'll get thousands of views, and they'll get the ad revenue, and what they're gonna do is they're just gonna pocket it. They're just going to take it for themselves, and that's fine. People can do that. People have their hustles. People do, people are going to want to watch that. People are going to want the competitive content and stuff like that. And I get, if you're restreaming it and commentating over it, that's like, that's completely fine. And even if you just kind of take it and with the Evo commentary and stuff and just upload it, I guess that is fine as well. I think that's a little bit more like, okay, what are you doing now? But I can understand if you're commentating over it, you're live streaming and stuff. It's like, oh, this set was hype, and then you upload it. That's that's cool. But it's just hard to put in this content and make this content that requires a lot of effort, a lot of thought process for the competitive community who acts like they really want more. And just kind of have no one really care about it. Or the people do care. It's not like I get nothing. It's not like, and again, this is a big point. I'm just saying that like, there's not a lot of people who are watching it like, who are rallying behind the idea of trying to build up the community. Because I've made a lot of my projects and stuff open to other people. It's not like I am trying to be like, oh, work for me for free and you get nothing in return. Like, we return this into something that everyone benefits from, and people just aren't really about it. And again, that's cool, fine, I'm not tripping. It gets to the point where it's like, I feel like in a way my days are numbered. And the fact that like I don't think I've been here a while, I don't think anyone or a lot of people are gonna back up my ideas. I don't think people are going to want to build up the community in the way that I have. And there are people that have done it and are doing it, but they kind of have their own thing. So, you know what I mean? It's like, and that's fine. Maybe you have your local that you run the tournaments for, and that's amazing. Or maybe you make your own content, and, that's amazing. And maybe you just play the game and you go to a bunch of tournaments, you go to a bunch of offlines, or you enter all the online tournaments. Again, that's amazing. And everyone has their things. And, like, I'm not trying to say that I am so big. I know I'm a very small, miniature part of the community that a lot of people don't really care about. And, again, that is fine. I don't need to be this big person, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm putting in all this effort. Like I work my full-time job, I hang out with my girlfriend, and I do these videos, and that's basically like my life. And this is the point where you want to progress a little more, and it's hard to do a lot of things without seeing a lot of results. And like SRTV, we made a lot of progress on that, but even still, that took a very very long time. Like I said, in YouTube, I've uploaded 200 videos and I haven't even reached the 1,000 sub mark to monetize my channel. And that's taken a lot of time and a lot of work and a lot of nights in and a lot of time where I'm kind of stressing trying to edit a video before I go into work, or trying to make videos on my lunch breaks or on my 15-minute breaks. And it just kind of adds up to a lot of just mental stack, a lot of stress, and it kind of just sit here and wondering if it's worth it. And I'm not really one to give up. And I'm just kind of being real. I've always tried to do that. I've always tried to keep it 100. If I'm not feeling 100, I don't try to pretend that I am. I always try to be a positive light in the community, congratulating people when they do well, being happy for people when their content does well, trying to support people's content, streams, YouTube, support people's tournaments and stuff like that. I've tried, and I will continue to try to do that. But it's just at a point where I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do or how I'm going to continue. I don't plan on stopping. I have nothing planned yet. Maybe after the top 100 drops, I plan on taking a little break. I was planning on going to defend the North. I might not do that at this point, and might just kind of chill for a bit and just kind of try to enjoy my life and just kind of have some fun with things and stuff like that. Because like I said, I've gone to a lot of tournaments. I even posted a thing today where I showed that's not even all, but I showed a lot of my offline matches. Like I've been to a lot of tournaments, and a lot of times I didn't really enjoy myself there because I was just kind of like trying to like grind. It was like, okay, like if I either want to do good at the tournament, or if I don't feel like I'm good enough to do super well at the tournament, I want to grind a lot, and I want to put in like 8 hours every day just to play in the game so I can get better and use this kind of like as like a boot camp to improve myself as a player. And I haven't always used the time to enjoy myself, and instead I, have gone into these places and just stay at the venue the whole time. And there's this guy named McChillin or Chillin, something like that, who made a video. I think it's McChillin. Made a video about kind of like, the confessions of a failed professional like competitor or video game player, something like that. It was a really good video, and I related to that video so much. Just like going to all these events, never really doing super well, kind of just putting all my time and effort into that. You know what I mean? Like just so many nights in, and so many times where instead of like hanging out with my girlfriend or hanging out with friends, I elected to just grind the game. And it's like, okay, well, when is this gonna be worth it? And I'm starting to truly wonder if I, at least in skill, if I have I like reached my potential, have I peaked skill wise? And even if I haven't done that, like, is it possible? And I remember watching, I think it might have been like a hotel hell, or one of those David Ramsey, or David Ramsey, not that guy, Gordon Ramsay, where he talks about how his dad moved him and his family a bunch of times, and he would go to like open mics and stuff, and he would go to these bars and try to play and try to become a famous musician and try to make money and make that his living. And he was just trying to be something that he wasn't. And I wonder at some point, am I trying to do that? Like, am I trying to be something that's just not possible for me to be? Am I trying to be a point in the community where I can grow the community? And like like TOing. I have done a lot of stuff. Like I TO for Champion of the Realms. I do Shabbat Ready Sundays. I make this content. I stream 4 days a week. I play in a bunch of events. I've been to a bunch of events. I've helped TO a bunch of events. So Combo Breaker, Combo Starter. I was there helping Bacon Lord run the tournament. Not even because like he asked or anything like that. I just basically said like, hey, I want to loan a hand, stuff like that, because I want to make sure the events run good. And I've tried to do a lot for the community, and it really seems like the community just kind of like, blah, like screw you, Poseidon, we don't need you, or we don't want to. It's not like people are outright like that. Like there's plenty of people who do say like, oh, you're doing a good job, or it doesn't go unnoticed. And I'm not trying to sit here like, oh my god, but it's like at a certain point, it's like, for what? Like, what have I seen? What difference have I made? Am I even making money from it? Am I not just hemorrhaging money? Am I just kind of throwing money away and throwing it down the toilet? And at the end of the day, I don't really know the answer to that, and that's what's kind of scary. And I think when you go after anything or any goal or any dream, you don't really know where you're going to, when it's going to come to fruition, if it ever is going to come to fruition. And that's kind of one of the hard parts and why a lot of people don't become successful. And I guess part of that is my fear of like, what if I, give up, and then it turns out that I was just a year away from success if I just keep grinding and doing the same thing for another year. But I feel like I've been saying that for the past like couple years, where I'm like, oh, if I just give it another year, I'm sure I'll see a massive progress, and I'll see all these things, and everything will be great, and you know what I mean, and I'll be like, able to run big events for the community and stuff. And then the year passes, like, oh, we'll give it another year, and it's kind of like, am I just doing this because of sunken cost? Or am I trying to be something that I'm not? I don't really know the answer to that. For now, though, I plan to keep going. Like I said, maybe a little break after the top 100 comes out. Then I'll probably be back at it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate all y'all. Please let me know what you think. Would you rather me have my face up there, like with the camera on, just talking about this stuff, or would you rather me put it over to like gameplay or something like that, or something else, where you don't have to see my face? As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. As I said, make sure to like and comment on the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not. I'm 48 subs away from 1,000. That's going to be a big celebrating, big point. Showing the worst paying off a little bit when I reach that. But thank you all so much, and I'll see you guys at the next video.